Last night, we witnessed history in terms of rugby league, and there were thousands there to be a part of it, literally. I can't wait to talk about this game. The Roosters and the Rabbitohs was not a match that will be remembered for the tries scored or brilliant performances, but it will be remembered for Alex Johnston becoming rugby league's greatest ever try scorer at 213 tries, surpassing Kern Irvin's record that has stood the test of time, 57 years to be exact. It's unbelievable. And today we're going to talk about what that record means, but we're also going to take a moment to have a laugh at the NRL. I'm going to explain why in just a second. If you are new to the channel, we are on our way to 2,000 subscribers. So if you are new, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It does help us a lot. But anyway, let's get straight back into the video. So the game, let's talk about that for just a moment. The Roosters win 26-18. Statistically, the game makes no sense whatsoever. The Roosters actually ran for less meters than the Rabbitohs did. Rabbitohs had almost 400 meters more than the Roosters. So statistically, the Rabbitohs got up the pitch really well, but they just could not convert points. It almost felt like the Rabbitohs were stuck in trying to get Alex Johnston the record. They kept going side to side. They kept trying to push for these long spreads to the left, and it came off. I mean, obviously the record is broken, but it just didn't really work out, did it? But in saying that, the Roosters were clinical. I want to name a few players for the Sydney Roosters who are just absolutely fantastic. And then let's talk about the star man. Let's talk about Alex Johnston. And let's take a moment to laugh at the NRL. Nafahu White for the Roosters. Prop with the big hair. You can't miss him. Mate, he is terrific. He had an unbelievable performance. 191 meters gained. Unbelievable, led from the front. When you consider no Victor Radley, no Spencer Leniu, mate, White stood up and he actually took it to the Rabbitohs pack that is filled with a lot of high-quality players. David Fifita leading the line. He actually made 171 meters. Fiona Matangi. So, you know, there's a lot of quality there for the Rabbitohs, but Nafahu White, who's someone who you wouldn't call a sexier name in the Roosters forward pack, mate, he took it right to those South Sydney Rabbitohs, and he had a great performance. I'm always going to butcher the last name, but I'm someone who likes to try things, so I'm going to give this a go. Nawa Quanta Tawasi. I need to practice that a few more times, clearly. He was brilliant. The try he scored was fantastic. He made 190 meters. His kick returns were excellent. His runs out of his own end were excellent. He gave a lot of relief to his forward pack. He deserves a lot of credit. He was one of the Roosters' best. James Tedesco, busy as always, 186 meters gained, a try scored. A really brilliant performance by the Roosters legend. But now, let's rip straight into Alex Johnston. And I really need to have a good laugh at the NRL here. The amount of times that they put the sign up at the game of, if you run onto the field, you will be fined $5,500 and you will face a 24-month ban, was ridiculous. I almost wish I took count, but it must have been at least 10 times leading up to Alex Johnston breaking the record. It was comical because the fans booed in the stadium every single time it happened. It was like something that I've never seen before at a rugby league event. And then Alex Johnston does it. David Fifita makes a tackle bust. He gets the offload to Latrell Mitchell. Latrell Mitchell gives it to Alex Johnston, and Alex Johnston, showing 30 is the new 20, sprints away, scores the try. History is made, and the fans pour onto that pitch, and the NRL did not have an answer for the questions that the fans were asking. Here's my thing with the NRL. If you were concerned about fans rushing the field, I would have thought that you'd, I don't know, maybe order more security. There were probably 5 security guards around the pitch. I kid you not. 5 security guards. In fact, I've got a shot of my bird's eye view of a security guard dead set standing there earning his paycheck while everyone runs behind him. He dead set turns his shoulder and says, oh, all right, fair enough. It was comical. And I thought that it was hilarious by the NRL to almost force this narrative of, no, we don't want fans on the pitch. I think the NRL wanted fans on the pitch. I think they were trying to cover themselves. And here's the business lens that people don't think about and won't tell you. If you're the NRL and you're paying for a security service, so you pay these security guards, they'd be essentially from the company perspective, a lot of those security guards would either be subcontractors or they'd be casual employees. If you are doing something that's going to create work, then for the security company, then that security company has every right to turn around and say, you're endangering my staff, and you open yourself to all sorts of lawsuits, right? So the NRL had to come out and say, you're going to get fined if you run onto the pitch. And I think that ultimately, if there is a discussion behind closed doors where the staff at Allianz Stadium need to have a conversation with the company that supplies security guards to the NRL, they can have the conversation and say, we put that sign up X amount of times during the game. We told people to get off the pitch once it happened. The game got delayed for a solid 15 minutes. But it was just magical. So anyway, I think the NRL wanted this to happen. I think they knew it was going to happen. And I think they were okay with it because they will advertise Alex Johnston, March 13, 2026, the day history was made in the National Rugby League. I'm not sure that we will see another player break this record again. Although, if they keep up this 6 again bullshit, it's very possible. Because, dead set, we've seen games of touch football. A video and a conversation for another day. But I just wanted to take today to talk about the significance of this. Alex Johnston, 30 years of age, no, he's not old by any means, particularly in the modern game. And when you consider that he stands alone at the top of the rugby league charts in terms of tries scored. Mate, this guy, prolific try scorer. He nearly left the Rabbitohs in 2020. The club had told him he wasn't going to stay at the club. They couldn't afford to keep him. He wrote essentially a love letter, SOS, to say, this is my boyhood club. Happy to take unders, but I can't imagine myself playing anywhere else, and I want to see how we can get this deal done. And that letter was enough for the Rabbitohs to find a way to keep Alex Johnston. So if you just think of where we are in 2026, 6 years after the fact, and considering that Alex Johnston could have easily not been at the Rabbitohs, could have easily had his career go in another direction, could have ended up in England, and then we wouldn't be here talking about history. And these are the sliding door moments that can change the writing of history. And so not only is it cool that Alex Johnston breaks the record, but also he broke it as a one-club player for the South Sydney Rabbitohs against their biggest arch rivals. 2 founding clubs of the National Rugby League. Seriously, that's poetry. This is just a perfect example of the beautiful game that is rugby league. You can't write narratives like this. It's not planned, but it is absolutely poetic. Congratulations to Alex Johnston, the South Sydney Rabbitohs, and every fan of rugby league. Seriously, this is one of the good guys of the game. And just to see what it meant to him after the game, to see that he got lifted on fans' shoulders in the middle of a match. The fact that history dead set paused in time because the game had to be stopped is just unbelievable. And it was an honor. If you were there, remember it. I hope you took a photo with your mates. It's super cool. If you're at home, you'll forever remember where you were, what you were eating, and what you were doing the moment that Alex Johnston scored and those fans rushed the ground. In a sour note for the Rabbitohs fans, it took a Rooster fan to be the one to crack the seal. The Rooster fan was the bravest man alive. He was the first one to run onto the pitch. Security grabs him, and then security gives up because they were simply overwhelmed. But yeah, so a little bit of a poking fun at the NRL because of the narrative and the media outlie around not running the pitch, but you need to understand why they did that. But in all seriousness, congratulations once again to Alex Johnston. History has been written. Rugby league, the greatest game of all. Anyway, enjoy your rugby league for the rest of the week. We will be reviewing everything on Monday with an 8 things we learned from round 2. So look forward to that. And plenty of exciting content coming your way. I won't reveal too much, but it's coming. It's coming. If you like the video, give it a like, all that good stuff. Enjoy your rugby league over the weekend and get out of here.